So the same way I've done it with my previous book, Beyond Infinity, I've written some questions for the thrilling adventures of Lovelace and Babbage. There are not as many as last time because I don't have any blurbs on this book, so I couldn't get inspired by any of those. But already I have what do I think about the story presented in the comic, and I refer mostly to the fiction part of it. Second question is, do I think the footnotes and endnotes were necessary? So as you could see previously, there are quite a number of footnotes and endnotes in this one, so that's related to that. A general question, who can read this book? I hope everyone, but I will see that at the end. And question number 4, what do I feel about, oh, and I wrote about twice. I can't believe that. Wrote about twice. Too excited about this. So, what do I feel about the format of this comic? Because it has the comic, footnotes, endnotes, and appendix, and it's everything kind of like mixed together. So I'm curious to see what do I feel about the format of that at the end. So yeah, this is everything at the moment. If I come up with any other questions, I will just probably put them down on this page and just see how it goes. So I wanted to give you like a short update on this one and what I figure out after I've read the first chapter. So I'm gonna show you the first page, as I think this is gonna make a lot of sense. You see, you have most of the page is the comic, and then you have some footnotes over there. This is basically the same for every page. You might even get some pages that the footnote is horribly long, but I totally recommend these ones. Now, the way I've discovered I find it more interesting to read is I read the actual comic first, all of it, until the end, and then I go to each page and I read the footnote. And while I read the footnote, I go at the end of the chapter and I read the end notes. So, yeah. The way this goes is a list for the first chapter. I'm not sure if it will be the same for all of the book, but the comic is interesting as it is, and it's fun and entertaining. And then the footnotes and the end notes, they are proper historical facts and information about the people involved, even some mathematical concepts, even some technology concepts, even some things about the society, some things about the government, some things about the queen and stuff, and the government in general, so not just the monarchy at that time. So yes, I recommend you give it a try like this, because if you're not interested in the historical facts, then you can enjoy just the comic. But if you want to read the historical facts, then you can do it after, so that you don't get confused, because you might get at one point, especially for some of the longer ones, like over here, I was like, oh, so after I read all that, it's I thought where am I in the actual story? And I was like, okay, so I need to read this differently to get the full idea. So yeah, this is just a quick update about how I feel about this bit, and while I keep reading it, I will let you know if things are getting good, or I think it's not a good balance between the footnotes and the endnotes in the actual comic. So I don't know so far, but I will let you know. So it is the time to finally answer these small questions about the thrilling adventures of Lovelace and Babbage. So I've read this one in November-ish. So let's see what questions I have over here, and I will start with the first one. So, what do I think about the story presented in the comic? So, the story. There are quite a lot of things happening, so I'm gonna go over very quickly. We have the first bit of the comic is basically like historical aspects presented in a different way, but after the first one, the rest of them are kind of like what the author thought it would happen in a different universe-ish, and I totally loved it. So very interesting, very funny, awesome. Like, I enjoyed them. They made me laugh. They made me like quite interested in some like mathematical aspects as well, because there are a lot of like funny jokes, and I like the art as well. So ace for me, ace. It was great. Like, the story was great, funny and interesting, and also I think suitable for absolutely anyone and everyone. So yeah. So, second question, do I think the footnotes and endnotes were necessary? At this point, like immediately after I finished it, I can say like, hell yes. Yes, they are necessary. Because they give you so much more about the historical aspects of this, or like some technology, or like even like very interesting at the end over here where Ada kind of like speaks with the footnotes, and I thought that was hilarious. So yes, totally worth it. And I think the endnotes and the footnotes give a different flavor to the whole book. Like, you would think like, oh, this is all fiction, but then you see that all of it is inspired by something that actually happened, or some sort of information, some sort of letters, some sort of quote from somewhere, aspect of something, like even like policy and stuff, like economy. Like, it was very interesting. So I definitely say that you need to read the footnotes and endnotes. Also, if you don't want to go into like the non-fiction part and be like, oh, this is just like a comic and I just want to randomly read it, finish it in like one sitting, and then just like that's it, then you can do that. But the footnotes and endnotes give so much more to the book, like I can't even explain it properly. So yeah, like I love them a lot. Question number 3. Who can read this book? Anyone. Absolutely anyone. There's like, yeah, pretty straightforward. Who can read this book? Anyone. Who should read this book? Everyone. Like, yeah. The mathematical information is not completely over the top, and the footnotes and some of the endnotes explain it like very well. The historical aspects are really nicely presented. There are a lot of jokes and stuff. There's not like some sort of like strange vocabulary that people will not understand. And yeah, I mean, maybe if you have like children, you might want to read this with them, just in case, I don't know, there are like some words that they don't understand, or like some aspects from the historical bit that they don't get. Probably that would be an issue, but other than that, I think the book would actually make them just the comic will make them very excited. So yeah, I would say like anyone and everyone should read this because it's awesome. So yeah. And last question, what do I feel about the format of this comic, including the comic, the footnotes, the endnotes, and the appendix? I love it. I never thought I will appreciate something like that. Like, I'm not a big fan of footnotes. I mean, endnotes are kind of okay, but like footnotes, I feel like if they are like too long. Like you can see over here, I want to show you like one of them exactly. In the first bit where it was like a full page, like that's a footnote, and it's the actual comic, and I was like, what on earth is happening here? But you know what, I loved it. There's nothing else I can say about it. It works really well. I also enjoyed the appendices because they gave you like bits about, for example, the second one is about the analytical engine, and you get to learn about how it works and stuff like that. And then the other appendix is like letters and any other bits like that, but mostly letters of those, and I thought that was really good. And the endnotes, again, I'm a big fan of endnotes in general, so yeah, it gives just like extra information. So if you're reading footnotes and you'll be like, oh yeah, maybe, but then you go to the endnotes and you get the full picture, and I thought that was really good. Also, another bit about the format that I did not expect. In one of the last parts of the comic, actually one of the characters speaks with the footnote, and there's like a connection there that I thought was really funny. So you felt like the footnotes were actually characters in the story, which was so cool. Like, I really liked it. So yeah, that's kind of it. So I answered the 4 questions. I don't think I have anything else to add to this. So yeah, you have to read it. You have to read this. Okay, so full on, I've just answered the questions, and I want to do like a full on review. I'm gonna go short because there's not much I have to say after I answered the questions and everything. I'm gonna go with the first page because I just love these two over here. So the book as a whole is incredible. Like, I did not expect to laugh so much and also find so much information that I had absolutely no idea. The historical bit is incredible. Like, I appreciated every single aspect of it. I'm in love with the footnotes, and I thought they were like so well done and so interesting, and the information there was like making me want to read more of the footnotes, which is something I don't really feel like generally. Also, it felt like I was reading 2 different books. So I was reading like the historical bit, like the non-fiction over here in the footnotes and the endnotes and some of the appendices, and then I was reading a fiction bit over here. And I enjoyed how just the existence of the footnotes made the fiction bit like even more interesting. Like, I could see like how every sentence and every bit of it was like inspired by something real, and that made it even more like enjoyable for me, at least. The story is great. The art is hilarious and like beautiful, and I enjoy it, and it's like so cute, but also like so interesting. Like, look at her, like cute little Ada doing advanced calculus. Yay. Anyway, so very cute, very interesting. I cannot recommend it more. It was like insanely good. I enjoyed every single bit. I did take my time to read it, so I wasn't reading it in like one sitting, which I could have done. Probably the comic would have gone like in an hour, less than an hour, or maybe, I don't know, but very interesting. But I've spent my time reading every single footnote, every single endnote, every bit from the appendix, and it just made the book so interesting, and I love it. I think it's awesome, and you should pick it up. Now, I'm not upset right now that I have this edition. I have no idea. I just took one used from Amazon, and it was this one, and I like it. I have the feeling it should have a dust jacket, but maybe it doesn't. So now I feel like this edition is even more cool and more awesome, and I totally love it. So yeah, I will leave all the information about it in the description below, and I also put links to our book club and stuff. And yeah, also let me know if you've read the book, if you plan to read the book, because yeah, I have to tell everyone how awesome it is. So overly excited, incredibly excited, hip hip hooray. Anyway, enjoy, have a lovely day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.